Throughout my life, I have suffered a lot in my mind until I realized that I was in control. For many, many years of my life, I'm 23 right now, so I'm not speaking from decades of experience, but I would honestly say at least 1 decade of putting myself through things, through struggle, through hardship, and through negative emotions, but it was my own doing. And I'm not sure if a lot of people deal with this. I'm sure a lot of people do, but I'm just going to talk from personal experience. I have always felt like I am not enough. I have always felt like I don't do enough. I have always felt like I need to be more. I need to be the best. I need to do all these things. And if I don't, then I'm a failure and a complete failure. And so whenever I try to do things and I get really focused on things and I can't seem to be good at it, I tend to get in my head about it. I tend to hate other people for being good at it when I'm not. I envy people, and I put myself in these negative loops where I feel these negative emotions, and then I overthink about the negative emotions itself. And just over the past couple months, I've really learned how to live in a sense, understanding how to regulate my own mind, how to regulate my own nervous system, how to be calm and peaceful, and live in a creative state, a proactive state instead of being reactive all the time, because that's necessarily what that is. I habitually built negative emotions as a reaction to certain situations, and because of that, more negative emotions grew. You have one seed that is planted within the mind of something negative, and it tends to grow like a tree into many different branches and many different leaves of different negative emotions. And it may not be the same emotion as before, but it all stems from the same root. It all stems from your habit, or like obviously I'm still talking about myself, my habit of reacting to a situation in a negative manner. And I think it's taken me years, like absolute years, to get over this, and obviously not fully get over this. I still struggle with this a little bit, but to be able to put myself in a positive state, or more likely a neutral state about many different things. I think a lot of us want to be positive all the time, 24/7, and we know that that's never going to happen. There's always going to be bad days, bad moments, because that allows us to experience the good. If we didn't have those bad moments, we wouldn't be able to be ecstatic about things. We wouldn't be able to feel purpose. And so the bad moments are necessary, but you can also stay neutral to them in your reaction to them. And this ability to remain peaceful, this ability to regulate my nervous system, this ability to regulate my reactions has allowed me to start building habits of positive reaction, or more likely habits of sustained awareness of, let me see how I should say this. It has allowed me to build and train my mind to react to thoughts or situations in a neutral manner rather than a negative emotion. So instead of planting that negative root or that negative seed that will stem into so much more in the future, whether it's the future of that day or the future of that week, month, year, I have learned to become the observer of that thought, to become the observer of the situation, and realize that the initial thoughts that pop up aren't me, and I don't have to act on it in a sense. And I'm sure you've heard that before, but putting it into practice is normally at the start a lot harder, and it's just much easier said than done. But becoming the observer where, anything that happens, in the past couple of videos I've used this example because a lot of people deal with this, is, let's say you're in traffic. You just worked 10 hours, 12 hours. Let's say you worked 12 hours. You worked 8 to 8. You're coming home on the highway. All you want to do is get home. You've had a long day. Work was shitty. And you have like 5 people cut you off and just slam on the brakes. Now, obviously, like, that is going to get people. Like, obviously, that's going to just itch you in some way, and you're going to want to get angry. You're going to want to lash out and feel these emotions. And you can feel these emotions, but the only thing is when it becomes a deeper rooted problem where you bring these emotions towards others, or it is emotion that leads your life. And so something as silly as, feeling negative emotions for traffic, something that you can control, is one of those deeper rooted problems in my opinion. And I may be thinking about it into it deeper than I need to, but it's just my opinion. Because, if you continuously react to situations that are out of your control, how are you going to react when something unexplained happens and you need to be in control of that situation? I think there are so many times when we get stuck in this reactive state, and it just does not allow us to be the happy people that we are meant to be. We are meant to enjoy this life. We are made to be love. We are made in God's image. And a lot of people forget that because they become reactive to life. They become reactive to emails at work. They become reactive to their boss. They become reactive to clients. They become reactive to their family. They become reactive to problems that arise. When in reality, you have the ability to take a step back, to calm yourself down, and take a proactive approach so that you don't have these problems in the future. To take a proactive approach so that your clients aren't asking the same questions over and over again. To take a proactive approach so I can post every single day a certain amount of videos and not have to post it last minute at night. But I love recording at night, so that's why I'm doing this. I've already posted today. But, and it really allows you to be proactive with everything. And at the end of the day, it's a habit. It becomes a habit of doing this. So it's not just something that, some people are born, maybe some people are prone to it. Some people are better at it. But this is a muscle that you can build in your brain. This is something that you can try every single day and practice as the observer of your thoughts and reactions to different situations. You're allowed to feel emotions. I'm not saying don't feel them. I'm saying the way that you react and express these emotions towards other people or situations that you're in. Don't internalize it. If it is a true emotion, like grief or something like that, obviously you're allowed to feel these deep emotions. You have to get over them. But in simple situations of everyday life where you shouldn't be feeling these immense emotions, literally at the start of the year, I was getting stressed, anxious, angry at a text message because I was so dysregulated. I was so in the wrong, just energetic field. I was in such a bad place with responding to my emotions, responding to the way I act, thought, and just responding to situations that would arise. And it was my own fault. And because it was my own fault, and realizing that it was my own fault, I also realized that I could have control. And so many people, when they are in these reactive states, believe that it is just something wrong with them. They think that they're just feeling these negative emotions because they have a deeper rooted problem where they're just a sad person or they're just an angry person. Like, this is just me. This is how I just am. No, you don't have to be that way. And I don't want you to be that way because I know how good it feels when you get out of it. I know how creative it feels when you get out of it. I know how fulfilling it feels when you can be proactive about the work that you need to do so that you can leave time for other things that you love. We are made to laugh, to live, to love, to experience, not just be reactive to work all day, not just be reactive to, different stressful situations all day. Stress is good for us. There's good types of stress. Working out, having stress, fulfilling your dream, being on time with things. There's good stress. But it is also bad when it comes to a point where you become reactive and stressed at every little thing that pops up in your life. You are in control. Just become the observer of what happens in your life and become proactive so that you don't have to be reactive with situations popping up every single day. Most of us realize it at some point in our life that we have the same problems that happen over and over and over and over again. Whenever my company had a bunch of clients before, we ended up going a different route, different into software for social media. But whenever we had clients, we found ourselves so reactive. So many clients were asking us so many questions. We answered the questions, we tried to solve it that day, and realized that it was the system that was producing those questions in the first place. It was the system that was producing those problems for us in the first place. We had to become reactive and build better systems so that we didn't have the same things happen over and over again. But because we were in this reactive state, this stressful state, this anxious state, this fearful state, our body, our brain wasn't even activating. The prefrontal cortex was legitimately not even activating, and we couldn't have that thought of, why does this keep happening? Or we had that question, but we couldn't solve it. We couldn't problem solve our way out of being reactive because we never gave ourselves the chance to. We never gave ourselves the time to truly think about what was happening, think about the problem, think about the future solution, and come up with a creative way to become better in the future. And God, it's cold outside. And it's 12 minutes, so I got to wrap this up. But when you are proactive in everything that you do and you regulate yourself so that you can feel these moments of silence, that is exactly when all those positive emotions stem from. As I said in the beginning of this video, you are creating negative roots in your mind that grow into branches, that grow into leaves of different negative emotions that are released at different people in different situations when you don't want them to be. And I mean, the Bible talks about, the fruit. Like like I'm trying to think of the exact example, but whenever a tree grows fruit, you can tell by the fruit of the tree. I probably botched that. Sorry guys, but if you understand, you understand. But similarly to these negative rooted problems, you can have positive rooted solutions. You can plant seeds of positive action, of positive thinking, and it grows into positive fruit, positive branches, positive leaves, whatever you want to do for this analogy. It grows and shows to everyone around you in the situations that you put yourself in. People can feel it. These positive emotions that you are growing for yourself in here, it is all growing and will show to other people, and they will notice it before you do. You will start to say, I am feeling happier about situations. And maybe I'm just thinking this because I felt so negative before. But I want you to know that you are in control. And once you realize this, and once you put yourself in this mindset that this isn't just you, you are allowed to change, you can change, and you will change. All you have to do is understand that you can. Put yourself in the idea of growth, the idea of positive emotions, becoming the observer, and taking, even if it's just 5 extra seconds, to think about the thought that you just had and think if you should actually act on it. But I think that's everything that I have to say. I think this was a great video. I love talking about this. It's a huge experience that I just went through and have been going through it my entire life, and I've just been now internalizing it, thinking about it, being proactive about how I can change myself in the future, becoming the observer, and it's helped me in ways that I can't comprehend. And I hope that this video helped you. I hope that you got something from this. If you agree, disagree, leave a comment. My favorite part of the day, as I always say, is reading comments and seeing what you guys have to think about this. But I would also very much appreciate if you could subscribe to this channel. I'm really trying hard on this YouTube stuff. This is something that I love doing. It's something that I love talking about. And it is my 100% purpose to try to help you guys out and just help anyone that I can go through something that if I went through previously, I can help with. And so if you guys got anything from this, obviously comment. I would appreciate if you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.